Deep night, an unfamiliar municipal district. A tall, dark building looms over wet, empty pavement. One street lamp works. A small, damp figure stands alone at its base. Priya, still catching her breath from a journey that started at a hospital she knows by heart. She scans the facade. No front desk, no bell. A crooked sign reads, "Office hours, when needed." "Of course," she mutters and starts searching along the foundation. Low on the wall, she finds it, a narrow brass slot, worn letters spelling "Official Submissions Only." It was clearly never built with a bird in mind. She kneels all the way down to reach it. The envelope she's carried this whole way, Elspeth's report, is pressed tight in her wings. "Get red," she whispers. "Please." She feeds it through. It vanishes into total darkness. She holds still a moment, watching the slot before finally turning to go. Inside, the envelope is already falling down a long black chute carved straight through the building's foundation, tumbling end over end into nothing we can see. Just before it hits the ground, something catches it, a small calloused paw closing clean around the envelope in absolute darkness. No fumbling, no hesitation. Warm light rises slowly, revealing where we are, a vast underground archive, shelving disappearing into the dark in every direction, and one small lit desk at the very edge of it. Grum sits there, a naked mole rat in a cardigan 2 sizes too practical to compliment. He sets the envelope down without opening it and straightens an unrelated stack of paperwork first. "Tuesday," he says, to no one. He finally opens the envelope. Official letterhead. A signature at the bottom, firm and familiar. His eyes, small, nearly useless for seeing, move down the page anyway, the way they always do. Something shifts in him. Not shock. Recognition. "That's not a new signature," he says quietly. He stands and walks straight into the dark shelving, no hesitation in his steps at all. His paw goes directly to one folder on one shelf among thousands, without pausing to search. He pulls it free. Back at his desk, he sets both documents down side by side, the new notice and a file 7 years old. He doesn't move. He just looks between them. "I logged this the first time, too," he says very quietly, and something in the stillness tells you this matters more than the words do. He gathers both documents and heads up out of the dark, into a brighter administrative corridor above the archive. Along the way, background business nobody notices. A clerk stamps a routine maintenance permit without looking up and slides it into a tray that's already 3 feet deep. It looks like nothing. Grum reaches Deputy Director Renner's office, small, overstuffed, 3 trays deep in her own paperwork. She's mid-juggle, phone at her shoulder, another ringing, stamping something one-handed without looking. He sets both documents on her desk. "Noted. I'll flag it," she says, barely glancing over. "It's the same signature as 7 years ago," Grum says, level. "Then it's already flagged," Renner answers. "Twice as flagged." She reaches for a 4th thing to hold, runs out of hands, and wedges a folder under her chin instead, entirely unbothered by how absurd this is. "I don't have a drawer for twice as flagged either," Grum says dryly, mostly to himself. A 3rd phone starts ringing. Somewhere behind her, a tray finally tips, papers cascading. She doesn't even look. Alone in the corridor now, Grum stands still, the documents back in his own paws, and for the first time all episode he looks genuinely unsure what to do next. "Noted. Twice as flagged," he repeats to himself, dry and a little tired, and glances toward a drawer in his memory labeled for things that don't have names yet. This doesn't have one either. Back at his desk, he begins writing, not a form this time, something of his own. His paw moves steady and sure across the page, the same quiet confidence we saw in the dark shelving, now applied to memory instead of location. He clips the finished page to both documents and heads back out, this time with purpose instead of uncertainty. Renner's office again later, quieter now, her desk a little less chaotic. Grum sets the full stack down. This time, he doesn't leave. "You don't have to flag it a third time," he says. "You just have to read the part I added." She actually stops, picks up his handwritten page and reads it properly. She sets the page down and looks at him, really looks, maybe for the first time in years. "You were here," she says quietly, 7 years ago. What actually happened?" His posture straightens, just slightly. "I've been ready to answer that for 7 years," he says, steady, almost surprised by his own readiness. Later, back at his desk in the archive, Grum stamps the file, properly escalated this time, and files it correctly exactly where it belongs. He pauses. For the first time all episode, he doesn't immediately move to the next task. He just sits in his own small light, in the middle of everything he keeps. Across the city, in a small office at night, Detective Crow sits at his desk. A new notebook lies open in front of him, heavier than the last one. He writes a single line by hand and doesn't look up.